change makers, and welcome to The Core, sponsored by Red Apple EdCo. This is your everything education podcast. We talk about current events, books to read. We interview education leaders, hear their stories, learn from their biggest lessons, and they share what they wish you knew about what it means to be in education today. I'm your host, Dr. Kia Turner. Buckle up for small seeds of inspiration that can lead to big changes in your classroom practice. Let's take a bite out of today's guest. Hi, you guys. It is Dr. Kia here, still at EdCamp St. Charles School District. And you know I had to come A, because it's drivable, praise God, but then B, because it's the first time I've seen a district take the initiative to host an EdCamp, not just once, not just twice, but this is the third year, right?
Third year.
And so I'm sitting down with Tina Lauer. Y'all see her? There you go. Tina was actually just in the room where they were doing, wasn't it the exploration of the Russian space station?
Yeah, we were on the space station with Google Expeditions, and then we went to the Great Wall of China.
See, and Rhea was in the session, and everybody had such a good time in it. I had to talk to her and found out that you are the district technology...
The instructional technology specialist.
Instruction technology specialist, which is why she knows all these cool things. And I wanted to talk to her about how to get teachers kind of started lighting their fire for tech development. A lot of times we think about professional development, but we don't often think about the incorporation of technology. And I think those two go hand in hand. Maybe not all of the time, but sometimes you need to develop further with your tech skills to get better in what you're doing in class. And so my first question is for you. You said that the teachers in your district are kind of fired up around technology already.
Yes.
How did that happen? And tell us what fired up looks like. Do we all need the clear definition? What does fired up look like?
Well, we started offering some tech PD to the point where we were having so much technology and not enough professional development to go with it.
Yeah.
That the position that I have now was created. And basically my job is to provide that professional development. I could either go to them during their plan period on a one-to-one basis. I provide PD after school. I go in before school sometimes. There are Google Expeditions trainings. We only have teachers who are trained on how to use the Google Expeditions because we want to make sure that they're being used effectively.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the school year, I'll either go to their buildings before school or after school, and the teachers who want to learn about that come. They get trained on how to use the kits. I started with my first year, I would do some lunch and learns, and then it's just evolved to, we've got like academies. We've done summer academies. We also have a 3-year cohort now of a technology academy that starts with year one is just, the basics of what is technology? What is the security that needs to go with it?
Yeah.
We go into Google a lot, but we also just start thinking about what gamification of your classroom.
Yes.
Just different things. And then at the end of that first year, we give them an incentive. Well, they get a T-shirt, of course.
Yes.
And
Won't
they
we
get
do something for a T-shirt?
they get a nice
teachers,
little button, and they get a pin.
We like all the goodies. We're like, give us more. We love it.
But the biggest thing is that they get a tablet that they can use in the classroom.
Okay.
The last couple of years, we've been using the Samsung Galaxy. And then the next year, it goes even deeper into the security, but it's not all face-to-face. We'll do 2 face-to-face, and then the next month will be through Google Classroom, where I'll just post questions and everybody will comment on it. And then at the end of the second year, we offer them a $1,500 grant to use with technology. So they can decide after these 2 years of things that we've talked about, things that they may have seen at the Midwest Educational Technology Conference, which actually is right here in St. Charles every year. So
y'all know I went to that. It was amazing and packed with info.
They will come back with all of these great ideas and like, well, maybe that's something that you might put on your grant. And they have to discuss how they would use it in the classroom, how it supports their initiatives in their classroom. Because we have subject areas, in our tech academy from, librarians to social studies to science to ELA to special ed that teaches everything. How does it fit them? If they have questions about things, we'll try to look some stuff up that they want technology for.
So I'm kind of hearing a few things. I hear that you started with there was a need where your teachers were sort of being inundated with technology, but didn't have the professional development to know how to use it effectively in class. And I think that's a really key takeaway, is that a lot of times we think that adding more tech tools is going to solve it. But if you don't help teachers select what they need for what they need to get done, then it's just a whole bunch of stuff and it isn't really making the impact. So I hear you saying that the position you have was designed to help teachers to be selective in their choice of technology to bring into their classroom, and then to make sure that it's having that impact. And then I heard the way that you got started doing that was you even had lunch with them. They're like, hey, tell me kind of what's going on and what you want to get done. And you move from lunch, tell me if I'm wrong in the steps, because in my mind is how I sorted them. So when you move from lunches, you move to, hey, I'll offer some PD on that before school, after school, during your plan if you want to come, and we can talk more about it. And then move from that to, hey, we have enough of you that we maybe want to do some academies and think about how to create cohorts so that you all can work together to solve these things or to look at these issues or to tackle instruction this way. And now to where that academy is a 2-year program, the end of which, 3-year program, but at the end of year 2, they get the option to kind of take all that they've learned and design even a project or some learning outcome they want. They get funded from the district for that. And then they get to do that their 3rd year?
The 3rd year, we release them even more. So it's every other month that's a face-to-face. The other months are in Google Classroom. We go more into project-based learning. They design a lesson using project-based learning. By the end of that year, we go over even more security.
When you say security, what do you mean? Do you mean like keeping student information private?
We're talking about like security, keeping safe on the internet, making sure that they're following the COPA laws and all of the FERPA laws. And being able to go into a website to look to see what it is that they're collecting from our students. And even like phishing and all that kind of security stuff.
You need to do a blog about that for those of us who may not know.
Our director of technology sits in on most of those academy meetings too. And he's the one who really goes over the security with them too.
Wow.
And then by the end of that 3rd year, we don't give them a monetary incentive. The restrictions on their computers are taken away and they are given administrative rights on their computers. So in our district, everything's locked down. You can't download anything, nothing. So after a 3-year process,
we've all worked there.
After the 3-year process that they've gone through, we say we can trust you and we're giving you the admin rights on your computer so then you can download without having to call the building tech or whatever to download something for you.
I love that. Here's my question. What made the district choose to fund something like that? Like, where is the battery for this coming from, right? Like, who at the district level or what happened in this area that made them say, you know what, we need to really look closely at developing our teachers around ed tech?
We just felt that, this is the way that our students are going to be in the future. Amen. We don't even know what they are going to need, but we know it's going to have to do with technology. There's jobs right now that when I was in school, when you were in school, they weren't even developed yet. So we need to make sure that our students are coming out college and career ready. And I mean, that's what the state says, college and career ready. But we also need to make sure that we are giving them those tools to use it. So we feel that developing our teachers in that, and then the Tech Academy, I have to say, is completely voluntary. They stay after school on their own time. Yes, they get the incentive of the tablet or the grant to use in their classroom
t-shirt.
Or the t-shirt or whatever. But it's on their own time. And so they are very dedicated teachers that stay after school once a month or participate in the online version of it if they are a level 2 or 3.
Time is precious.
Yes. So they're very dedicated. And then this year, through a partnership with WashU, we started something called STEM Academy as well. That's even bringing more of the science and the engineering and the math into it. So it's a little bit different. This year, we held off on starting a new cohort of the Tech Academy. And next year, we're going to only have the STEM Academy for teachers of grades K through 6, and then offer the Tech Academy for middle and high. Again.
The goal of that being to expose K through 6 educators to what?
To the integration of how they teach all of those subject areas. They need to be able to say that I'm not teaching just science right now. I'm teaching an ELA, but I'm bringing science into it. I'm bringing math into it, and show the kids that this isn't just STEM time. It's learning time. But that's what we've been focusing on, is trying to integrate STEM. And we'll still go over
come into that?
They have something that they call STEM Teacher Quality every year. It's a 2-week boot camp. And we got involved with them and we started sending teachers to this 2-week boot camp. And then we just grew from there, and they offered us STEM IQ, which is integration quality. And they're like, we will help you with a matching grant if you want to start working on a plan to integrate STEM. And so we're like, we would love to.
Yes.
So it's a matching grant where they give us money and we match it. But what we decided to do was to use that money for STEM Academy. And so on that, the incentives come right after the session. So one of the sessions was we talked about reaching out to other people to find money. And then what could you do with that money? Well, the Economic Development Council of St. Charles County reached out and they gave us microbits. What microbits are little LEDs. They're actually in the Plakerspace today, so you can go check them out. But
we're going after this.
They're little LED screens that you can code to do different things. We showed them how to use those and they can check them out from us. We actually bought them all 4 microbits that they could then leave with and bring in their classroom. Right after that, we had a 4th grade teacher bring her 4th grade kids down to a kindergarten teacher. They combined their microbits, so they had 8, and they had them all partnered up into groups where the 4th graders were helping the kindergartners code these little microbits. It was coming right out of our STEM Academy. They got the hand-on things right away that they could use in the classroom.
Where can we see these things? Like, do you guys have a district technology page? Like, if we are not there yet, and I'm talking to some of y'all, no shade. If we are not there yet, but we want to be, how do we find out about this kind of thing? Like, that is such an innovative idea, the K-6 STEM Academy partnered with a university or even the tech academies. I think I heard that there are some teachers doing something like that, I think in Emporia. And other than that, is it Emporia or no, it's Excelsior Spring. There we go. But other than that, never. And so if we're thinking about ways to take the resources we have, because districts are going to spend money anyway, right? These are the facts. How do we use it creatively? You guys are doing a lot of creative stuff. How could somebody find out more about that?
We have an instructional technology page from our district website, which is...
But does it have this kind of cool stuff?
It doesn't have that. I'm trying to redo it on new Google sites because it's on old Google sites right now. So I'm trying, and it won't just convert over. So I'm trying to redo it. But we tweet out a lot. We have a hashtag for our PD.
What is it?
SCSD PD. And so anytime we see cool things...
below this video so y'all can follow that on Twitter.
Anytime we do cool things for professional development, we try to tweet it out. We had someone come in and show our teachers how to make their own makerspaces kits for very little money. Okay. So I was tweeting pictures out of him, tweeting pictures out of our teachers at the STEM Academy. So anytime we try to do something, we've been tweeting out at that. And we made a district PD website. It's STCHAS, CHAS.
Okay.
SDPD. We tried to get the same thing, SDPD, but someone had already taken that one. So
what are the odds?
I know. Okay, I think they're from California and they took our hashtag. Yeah. Well, we still use our hashtag, but we had to change our Twitter page. So we'll tweet out from that as well.
I'm going to have all of that for you guys below in the video. So here are the questions I ask everyone that sits down for the blog. Why do you teach? And in your case, what is it that keeps you fired up like you are to develop teachers in their use of education technology? Like, what's keeping you motivated here?
We know that if the teachers understand it, they're going to give it to those kids, and those kids are our future. And we need to make sure that our kids are ready for what we don't even know is out there yet, because technology just changes so quickly that we need to start preparing them. We start doing, hour of code with our kids in kindergarten, and we want those kids to be excited. We started bringing in Project Lead the Way modules. And we've got 6th graders doing PLTW, 7th graders, 8th graders, and now in high school PLTW, getting them excited about a career path. And all career paths use technologies.
I'm so glad you said that. That's the pull quote for this one. All career paths use technology.
So that's why we need to make sure that our future is ready for what's out there.
Okay. So then question 2, what's one thing you're doing in your practice right now that excites you? Something you're seeing that you are like, I am so happy to see this. This is awesome. What is something that's working for you?
The one thing that I've been trying to push, and I did a session on it at METC. I've gone to other districts and done PD, and I've even done it's not like a vlog, it's just voice over one, but it's on novel engineering. And I will be at the digital makerspace STEM area at ISD this year with my novel engineering. You'll have to come by at the digital playground. And novel engineering is a way And at first, when I heard that, I thought novel, oh, it's something new.
That's exactly where I went.
But novel is a book. So what you're doing is you're taking problems that the characters have in the story and using the design process, you are solving their problems. The kids are really having to do that deep reading.
Yes, I read something about this.
Don't even think of it as ELA.
Yeah.
You can pull in nonfiction.
Yes,
you can do it in science and social studies. And then those problems in those articles are real because they're nonfiction.
I'm so happy to see you do your thing with this.
I mean, I'm just really excited. And I've been collecting all my makerspace stuff to haul off to Chicago for the summer. Because I'm going to have a big old table. I'm going to have my little screen with my novel engineering thing on there. And I'm going to
sweet it up.
So come on out.
It's in
Chicago this year. And I'll be in the digital playground. I believe it's on Tuesday. And I think I'm at the 2:00 session, but I'm not for sure. So keep an eye out on the digital playground.
I am, honey. Oh, that's going to be good. Okay. Number 3 is, what's one resource then you think every educator should know about? Like, no matter where you are in your career, in the grade level you teach, in your practice, here's one thing everybody needs to know.
I always go back to Google. Google knows everything.
Okay, yes.
And
yes, I had someone say that on here before.
I'm a Google educator level 1, level 2, innovator, and a trainer. So I've got all their certifications. But I mean, Google has so many tools and things out there for teachers. It's amazing. And the Google for Education suite is free for all teachers.
Right.
And they just are constantly bringing new things. They even made Google Classroom available for people who aren't educators anymore. So you can use Google Classroom on your personal thing too. But we use Google Classroom for anything. Like I told you, I use it in my tech academy. We did a book study last summer. We did it on Ditch That Textbook, and we also did it on Launch.
Yeah.
And both of those books, we did it through Google Classroom.
Do you think, okay, and this is just opinion, but do you think if I'm a teacher and I'm trying to just get started with tech usage, that Google level 1 is a good place to start?
I think so. And they they have a great training if you just Google Google level 1 educator training. They have the modules out there for you. That's one of the things in my district that we're going to be actually doing is a little mini boot camp for our teachers on Google to get certified in level 1. And I know that they have Google for Business and they also have Microsoft for Business, but it's out there. And when the kids get out of our thing, they may go to a place where Google is the thing for them, Google for Business. So if they already know that stuff, but if we're not teaching them effectively how to use it, then they're getting out and not understanding how to use that. So.
See, and Tina's even more serious than me, you all. Listen, it is true. If you are saying I have no tech skill or I have low tech skill, easy entry point, do Google level 1. And if you did that and you felt good about it and you were like, you know what, I kind of think I got the hang of it, then go ahead and do level 2.
And it's only $10 for the test.
There you go.
$10,
and then
you're
not having to wait for your district, your building, whomever to get on board. And it's a way to just develop yourself and to continue building your skill set. So please do at least that, because I run into teachers all the time who are like, well, I don't know how to do that. I didn't really learn that. I'm not comfortable. And I'm like, just level 1, Kung Fu Panda level 0. Okay. It's Google level 1. Okay.
And I mean, and they teach you how to do it. I mean, they have modules for every single thing that they are doing.
They will show you.
They even have practice questions that might be on the test. So it's all there in their training on Google. So.
Okay. So number 4, what was your last aha moment as a professional? When this happened, you were like, oh, wow. Okay.
Let's see. Maybe just EdCamp.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
We went a few years ago to EdCampSCSD, and it's a big one.
Y'all know I did that one too.
We could do this, and then when we were at METC, I'm pretty sure that the EdCampSCSD was like in January or something, and then METC is always in February.
Yeah.
We went to a session that said, create your own EdCamp. And so we're like, okay, let's go to this session. So it was me and Lauren, and we're at this session, and we're like, So we were getting ideas, and then we decided to just plan one. And we got help from the Tech Academy, and we just said, hey, we want to do this. Who can help us? And people just stepped up and they helped us. And it was just a few of us that year. But the next year we recruited the DPDC and said, we think this should be
the DPDC?
The District Professional Development Committee.
For those of us who don't know, not me, for you all watching.
The District Professional Development Committee, the DPDC.
Okay.
Then last year, the DPDC took it over, and Lauren and I are both on that as well. So,
okay.
And then this year, year 3, We grow each year with people,
Yeah.
But it's a great way. We call ourselves small but mighty. We're growing each year, but we're not so huge, that it's hard to connect because we have nice small little sessions of maybe 10, 15 people in each session.
Yeah, and it's innovative stuff, though. It's really cool stuff.
I mean, I saw some of those sessions. Yeah, we're doing the Makerspace. We've been calling it the Makerspace the last 2 years. And I'm like, you know what? We got so much digital stuff and it's not really a true Makerspace it's more of a Playkerspace. You play to learn. And that's how kids learn too. They learn through play.
Mm-hmm. So that's why my kid's ready to go in there.
One of the people that are in there kind of running it, I was like, oh, I thought you didn't know how to use this. She's like, I don't. But I figure somebody will figure it out. Kids will go in there and figure it out. Even if you don't understand how to do it, set it out for your students. They will probably figure it out for you.
Honey, you're preaching the gospel today.
You do not have to be that owner of all of the knowledge. And the kids can figure things out for you. And then you don't have to be so stressed out.
Okay, last one. In a few words, what is one thing you think every educator should know? Or one message you really want to put out there about education to people who may not be in it?
Don't be afraid to try. It may flop, but it may be amazing. And if it flops, that's okay. You've learned from something.
I agree.
Just don't be afraid to try.
So if we want to reach out to you, follow you, how do we find you? What's your Twitter handle? Let us know.
My Twitter handle is at TNALAU.
Mm-hmm. At TNALAU. Do you have a blog, vlog, anything, podcast?
Nothing that I'm keeping up to date right now.
That's okay.
Unfortunately, I have a blog. Get back on it. It's thepurpleparade.com, but haven't blogged in a while.
So we're going to all go join the Purple Parade as well. So then we're peer pressuring Tina into getting that back going. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
It was good meeting you.
Bye, you guys. It was good meeting you, too. That's all we have for today. Thank you for listening to The Core. Wherever you are listening to us, be sure to like our show, subscribe, and share the episode that's meant the most to you. We appreciate every single one of our subscribers, as do our sponsors. We look forward to seeing you next week. You can also check us out on YouTube at Red Apple EdCo if you'd like to see more video of these conversations. We have them posted there.